It's pretty crazy how many new guns we have seen this 2025, but not all of them will make your jaws drop. So, if you want to see the firearms that can give you a fever dream, I suggest you check out what I've included in this video. What's up, everyone? This is your host from Line45, and today, I'm going to introduce you to some of the most impressive and downright stunning firearms that are new for 2025. Before anything else, let me do this quick plug. Hit the like and subscribe buttons, all the buttons that you can see below. Don't forget to leave a comment too. I know it feels like a hassle, but those things help my channel a lot. Now let's get back to the good stuff. Smith & Wesson Model 1854-4570. When Smith & Wesson rolled out the Model 1854 in the 4570 government, it raised more than a few eyebrows, mine included. You got to understand that this is a company that's carved out a legacy with revolvers and polymer pistols, so seeing them dive headfirst into the lever-action world, and with a big-bore thumper no less, was wild. But what makes this rifle one of the most badass new guns of 2025 is how it fuses that rugged, old-school lever-action DNA with all the trimmings of modern tactical engineering. Right off the bat, I need to underline that it's chambered in 4570 government, which is a round with Civil War-era roots that's still an absolute beast when it comes to raw power. It was originally made for dropping buffalo, and it still punches hard today, making it perfect for big game, brush country, or just ringing steel with authority. Smith & Wesson didn't dress this rifle in traditional garb either. Nope. This one's fully decked out in black synthetic furniture, a forged 416 stainless steel receiver with a black Armorite finish, and a pile of modern features you don't usually see on your standard lever gun. The barrel is 20 inches long, with a 1-in-20 right-hand twist and 8-groove rifling, which works great with a wide range of 45 to 70 loads, whether you're shooting soft lead cowboy stuff or full-power hard-hitting hunting rounds. And yes, it's threaded 11/16 by 24, so you can throw on a suppressor or brake. Oh, don't worry, as it comes with a thread protector out of the box, too. Not many 45 to 70 lever guns are suppressor ready right from the factory, and that alone sets this one apart. Up top, you've got a 5.75-inch Picatinny rail, so slapping on a red dot or LPVO is a breeze. But even if you run irons, they don't skimp. XS ghost ring rear sight and a gold bead front sight come standard. Of course, these sights are fast, intuitive, and dead simple. Plus, the synthetic forend has MLOK slots, so you can mount a light, laser, or even a hand stop. You're not locked into classic configurations, as this thing is ready to be kitted out. Meanwhile, its stock has a texturized grip, and it feels solid, not cheap. It has a modern straight grip profile, not a big loop cowboy thing, and it's built for real-world abuse, weather-resistant, lightweight, and not gonna swell or warp like wood. It also has an adjustable cheek riser, which is a blessing when you're running optics and want that perfect cheek weld. Internally, it's smooth as hell. The lever action is clean and tight, and you've got a crossbolt safety for modern handling. The flat-face trigger breaks clean and consistent, and none of that mush you get in older lever guns. And reloading is smart too. You get a side-loading gate plus a removable magazine tube plug, which makes unloading fast and safe without having to cycle every round through the action. It's about 7.2 pounds and runs about 37.8 inches overall, which makes it compact enough for tight quarters, but heavy enough to soak up recoil. This thing is not just cool because it's a lever gun from Smith. It is cool because it's a lever gun reimagined for how we shoot today. A thumper in 45 to 70 that's optics-ready, suppressor-friendly, and field-tough straight from the factory easily earns its spot as one of the most notable drops this 2025. Springfield Armory, St. Victor, 5.56. I've run a lot of ARs in my day, but the Springfield Armory St. Victor in 5.56 really surprised me. In a good way, of course. I picked one up early this year just to see what the hype was about, and man, this thing is a beast right out of the box. No fluff, no cheap shortcuts, just solid components, smart choices, and performance that feels like it belongs on a gun twice the price. The first thing I noticed when I cracked open the case was that 16-inch chrome moly vanadium barrel, and yep, it's melanite treated inside and out, which means it'll take a beating and still keep its accuracy. I'm running both 55-grain FMJs and 77-grain match stuff through it, and with that 1-in-8 twist, it eats both just fine. Recoil is super manageable too, especially with that Springfield muzzle brake on the front. It actually keeps the muzzle flat without shaking my teeth out like some other brakes I've used. The mid-length gas system is smooth as butter. I'm not getting any of that sharp impulse you feel with carbine-length setups. Plus, the gas block is pinned, which, if you know your stuff, is exactly how it should be done, and one of that clamping nonsense that shifts over time. It's worth noting that its bolt carrier group is one tough setup. It's 9310 steel, MPI, HPT, and melanite coated in one. I ran about 1,200 rounds through this rifle before I even cleaned it the first time, and the BCG still looked great. No wear patterns, no feeding issues whatsoever. This thing just wants to run. What I really love is that 15-inch M-LOK handguard, full-length Picatinny rail up top, and M-LOK at 3, 6, and 9 o'clock positions. It's slim but not flimsy, and I've got a light and an offset dot mounted without any shift. The QD sling points are right where they should be, which makes transitions easy when I'm running drills or moving between covers. And let me tell you, the trigger surprised me the most. It's that nickel boron-coated flat single stage, and I'm confident that it's one of the best factory AR triggers I've felt in this price range this year. Clean break, quick reset, and none of that gritty, spongy crap. It simply just works. Now, the BCM Gunfighter Mod Zero grip and stock feel great, especially the grip. It got that high-rise backstrap that helps you get a better angle on the trigger. Moreover, the whole rifle comes in at just under 7 pounds, so it carries nice and doesn't wear you down. All said and done, this isn't just some starter rifle. This is a legit hard-use AR that you can toss in your truck, take to the range, or set up for home defense and know it's going to perform. Springfield absolutely nailed it with this new rifle, and certainly it's one of the most insane rifles you can get your hands on this year. Walther PDP Pro XPMM. I recently got my hands on the Walther PDP Pro XPMM, and I'll tell you straight, it's one of the most well-thought-out pistols I've shot in years. This thing doesn't just feel like another variant in the PDP lineup. Walther really dialed it in for 2025, and what they've done with this gun is nothing short of awesome in the best way possible. The first thing you notice when you pick it up is that integrated PMM compensator, and I'm not talking about a slapped-on muzzle device. This compensator is part of the system, built directly into the 4.6-inch threaded barrel, which brings the total barrel length up to 5 inches. What's wild is the interlocking design, which basically means that it locks in tight and stays put, so it actually feels like a single-piece system. It cut down the muzzle rise noticeably, and I was back on target almost instantly after each shot. That alone makes it one of the flattest shooting 9mm I've ever run. Then you've got the super terrain slide serrations, which are raised instead of just cut in. It sounds like a small detail until you're running the slide with gloves or sweaty hands. These things bite in perfectly without tearing you up. Walther's 2.0 optics mounting system is up top, which is way better than older PDP setups. I mounted a Holosun 507C on mine in minutes. No plates needed, no Loctite mess that will piss you off. The trigger, or the dynamic performance trigger, is unreal. Mine broke at just under 4.5 pounds, and the reset is short, tactile, and stupid fast. It's flat-faced, which gives you great leverage and control, especially if you're running it in matches or defensive drills. It's honestly one of the best striker-fired triggers you'll find from the factory. Ergonomics are textbook Walther, and I mean that in the best way possible. It is one of the most well-built in the game. The performance-duty texture on the grip locks in without chewing your hands up, and the 5.8-inch grip circumference with the medium backstrap felt just right for me. It has an undercut trigger guard that lets you choke up on the gun, and that really helps control recoil, especially during rapid fire. Plus, that aluminum mag well makes reloads smooth and stupid fast. It ships with 20-round steel mags, and the aluminum base pads are solid. You can't find cheap polymers here. The whole gun weighs about 27.4 ounces unloaded, so it's light enough to carry but heavy enough to shoot fast without jumping all over the place. Dimensions-wise, it's 8.5 inches long, 1.4 inches wide, and 5.7 inches tall, which gives it that full-size stability, but still makes it manageable in a holster. Honestly, for a striker-fired 9mm under $1,000, With this level of refinement and real-world performance, the PDP Pro XPMM is one of the most tempting picks of 2025. Whether you're carrying, competing, or just burning through ammo on the range, this gun feels like it was built by shooters, for shooters, and it actually freaking delivers. Heckler and Koch G36 LR. I had a chance to put some serious time behind the new Heckler and Koch G36 chambered in 22 LR, and honestly, it's one of the most unexpectedly fun rifles I've handled this year. If you're into military-style rifles but want something that won't break the bank or your shoulder, the rimfire version of the G36 absolutely nails that sweet spot between iconic design and practical rimfire performance. First off, this isn't just some loose homage to the G36. It's a legit rimfire replica, built to closely match the original's size, feel, and function. The polymer receiver feels just like the original, and the dimensions are spot on. You're looking at a barrel length of 18.1 inches and an overall length of 38 inches extended, or 28.2 inches when folded. That folding skeletonized stock locks in tight, and it's awesome for transport or tight spaces. At just 5.5 pounds, it's light enough to run all day without fatigue, but it still feels solid, not like some toy-grade 22 LR rimfire. The rifle runs on a simple blowback system, which is exactly what you'd expect for a rimfire. I fed it a variety of high-velocity 22 LR ammo, and it just ran smoothly with minimal hiccups. It really shines on the range. It's fast, flat, and stupid fun to shoot. There's barely any recoil, and with how well it handles, I found myself chewing through mags faster than I realized. What really sold me was how true to form it stays to the G36 platform. It's compatible with original G36 parts like the handguard, top carry handle, optics rail, and even the stock. That kind of parts compatibility is a big deal for anyone who already runs G36 or just wants to build a clone setup. Plus, you've got a Picatinny rail built into the carry handle for optics, so throwing on a red dot is as simple as dropping it in and zeroing. Controls are ambidextrous, which I appreciate, especially the charging handle, which can be flipped to either side, and the selector, which is mirrored. That makes it super friendly for left-handed shooters or offhand drills. It comes with a 20-round magazine, but 10 and 30-rounders are available depending on where you live or what you're into. The mags feed reliably and are easy to load, and none of that weird rim lock issues like you get with some other rimfires. On paper, it might sound like just a trainer, but in practice, it's way more than that. You're getting an iconic rifle layout in a caliber that's cheap and easy to shoot all day. For under $700 MSRP, this rimfire version of the HK-G36 is just a killer value. It's faithful to its lineage but built for today's shooters. I didn't expect to love it as much as I did, but now I don't want to put it down. Mossberg 940 Pro Tactical Professional. No one can downplay whatever Mossberg is making. These are some tough guns for sure. And this year, they released the law enforcement versions of some of their most iconic firearms, with the Mossberg 940 Pro Tactical included. In particular, the Mossberg 940 Pro Tactical Professional is flat-out purpose-built. Mossberg didn't just throw together a tactical scattergun and call it a day. They actually refined everything that shooters like me care about: reliability, ergonomics, modularity, and real-world shootability. The magic starts with the gas system. This is Mossberg's upgraded 940 series gas op system, and it runs incredibly clean for a semi-auto shotgun. I've put close to 500 rounds of 2 3/4-inch and 3-inch shells through mine, everything from light birdshot to heavy buck, and it just keeps cycling. No hiccups. The system is designed to run up to 1,500 rounds between cleanings, and I believe it. Internals like the gas piston, magazine tube, hammer, and sear are all nickel-boron coated, which means they shrug off carbon and moisture like nothing. That's real longevity built in. The barrel is a cold hammer-forged 18.5-inch, threaded for the AccuChoke system, and it comes with a cylinder bore choke installed. That means you're good to go right out of the box for defensive work or close-in training, but if you want to tighten your pattern, you can swap chokes with ease. I've also tested a couple different muzzle devices on the threads. Super easy to add a breacher-style brake or flash suppressor if that's your thing. Now let's talk about its ergonomics. The bolt handle is oversized, and so is the bolt release, which makes it easy to run under stress or with gloves. The loading port is beveled, and Mossberg added an elongated elevator that's pinch-free, so reloads are quick and clean. So that's no more bloody thumbs. And the length of pull is fully adjustable from 12.5 to 14.25 inches, using included spacers, which I really appreciated when I loaned it out to a smaller framed shooter. The thing that really sold me was the optics setup. The receiver is cut for RMSC footprint red dots out of the box, no rail adapter needed, and it ships with adapter plates for RMR, Dr. Noblex, and Leupold DPP footprints, so you've got options. I slapped a Holosun 507K on mine, and it mounted flush and held 0 through a weekend shotgun course. That's huge in a world where red dot-ready shotguns often mean extra costs or gunsmithing. The forend has an integrated heat shield and comes with M-lock slots at 3, 6, and 9 o'clock, plus QD sling mounts on both sides, which let me run a sling however I needed. Mine also shipped with a Vang Comp System 6-round side saddle, and that thing holds tight and keeps shells exactly where I need them during reloads. It weighs around 7.75 pounds, which is heavy enough to eat recoil, but not too much to maneuver indoors. The trigger is crisp at about 4.6 pounds, and honestly, it's one of the better factory triggers I've felt on a semi-auto shotgun. Pair that with the gas system's soft recoil and the beefy recoil pad, and you've got a gun that's easy to control even when you're ripping fast strings. The bottom line here is that if you're serious about home defense, duty use, or even tactical competition, the Mossberg 940 Pro Tactical Professional isn't just a solid option. It's one of the most insane, well-thought-out scatterguns on the market in 2025. Everything on it feels intentional, and it runs like it was built to survive the end of the world. Bull Armory TAC Comp. When Bull Armory dropped the TAC Comp this year, I felt like they took everything shooters were asking for in a modern 2011-style pistol and actually delivered without cutting corners. This isn't just another flashy range toy or overpriced competition gun. The TAC Comp is a purpose-built, compensated fighting pistol that shoots flat, hits fast, and runs like it's made to take abuse. Now, this pistol is built off of Bull's SAS-2 platform, which is their take on the 2011 double-stack design. It's chambered in 9mm, and the first thing that grabs your attention is that 5-inch hybrid barrel with an integrated V6 ported compensator, all CNC machined from a single block. This isn't just slapped on for looks, it's also downright functional. The ports vent gases upward and out, keeping the muzzle flat and letting me run fast splits without the gun jumping around. Follow-up shots are crazy quick. The frame is stainless steel, and it weighs in right around 34.8 ounces unloaded. That added weight helps eat recoil and keep the gun stable under rapid fire. Paired with the aggressive grip texture on the full-size polymer grip module, it gives you that locked-in feeling without tearing up your hands. It fit my medium-sized hands perfectly, and with the high beaver tail, I was able to get a nice, high grip for even more control. One of the biggest selling points is the Bull Armory Optic Multi-Footprint Mounting System. This thing doesn't lock you into one optic. It's compatible with RMR, RMS, and DPP footprints, and it comes with adapter plates so you can mount pretty much anything right out of the box. I dropped a Trijicon RMR on mine and didn't need to mess around with extra parts or spacers. Iron sights are simple but practical. They're black serrated front and rear sights, so no fiber and zero frills. They co-witness with most dots, which is a nice touch for backup use. The trigger breaks cleanly at around 3 to 3.2 pounds, and it's flat-faced with just the right amount of wall. Honestly, it's one of the best out-of-the-box triggers I've felt on a 2011-style pistol. Reset is short and crisp, which makes rapid-fire drills smooth and controlled. Capacity is not a problem here either. It ships with 20+1 capacity mags, and you get 4 magazines in the case, along with optic adapter plates, a mainspring housing pin, guide rod takedown tool, cleaning kit, and even a slick soft-sided range bag. The finish options include either black PVD or raw stainless steel, and both look clean and handle wear well. Well, it's pretty certain that the Bull TAC Comp isn't just another boutique 2011. It's accurate, flat, fast, and reliable. And these are exactly the very reasons why it's one of the most over-the-top firearms you can bag anytime this year. Heckler and Koch HKMR 556 A4. When it comes to civilian AR platforms that feel like they were built for war zones, I am a believer that the Heckler and Koch MR56A4 sits right at the top of the food chain in 2025. This rifle isn't just some tactical-looking toy, it's the goddamn real deal, built on the same bones as the HK416, the gun trusted by Tier 1 units around the world. After spending serious time behind this rifle, I can confidently say it's one of the most overbuilt and performance-driven rifles available to civilians right now. The barrel is a big part of what sets it apart. It's a 16.5-inch cold hammer-forged barrel made from cannon-grade steel with a 1-in-7 twist rate. HK cold hammers these barrels in-house in Germany, and it shows. The accuracy of this thing is excellent, especially with match-grade 77 grain ammo, and it's built to last tens of thousands of rounds. This is the kind of barrel you buy once and shoot for a lifetime. The MR556A4 uses a short-stroke gas piston system, not direct impingement like standard ARs. That means the hot gas and carbon stay out of the upper receiver and bolt carrier group, which keeps things running cleaner and cooler. And unlike most piston guns, this one includes an adjustable gas regulator, so you can tune it for suppressed or unsuppressed use. That's a huge deal if you're running a can, so no overgassing or unnecessary wear. The receivers are 7075-T6 aluminum, but HK gives them a proprietary hardcoat anodizing that's tougher than mil-spec. The rifle weighs in at about 7.67 pounds unloaded, which is on the heavier side, but it feels planted. The added weight and piston system helps tame recoil and keep the muzzle flat during fast strings. Up front, the free-floating slim-profile MLOK handguard is lightweight but solid. You've got M-lock slots at 3, 6, and 9 o'clock for mounting lights, grips, or lasers, and a full-length top rail for optics and irons. The lockup between the rail and the upper is rock solid. No flex, no shift. I've had IR devices mounted with zero repeatability issues. Controls are fully ambidextrous, including the mag release, bolt catch, and 45-degree safety selector, which makes it ideal for both lefties and righties. Everything feels tight and refined. The trigger is a single stage, breaking between 4.5 and 5.6 pounds, crisper than a mil-spec unit, but still combat appropriate. Reliability is pretty much flawless. I ran it hard through a carbine course, dirty, dry, suppressed, and it didn't have a single malfunction. It's honestly the kind of rifle you could throw in the dirt, pick up and keep shooting without worrying if it'll run. Make no mistake. The HKMR556A4 doesn't come cheap, but you're not just paying for a name. You're paying for unmatched build quality, battle-proven engineering, and parts that are made to outlast anything else in your safe. In a market flooded with high-end ARs, this one still stands out in 2025 as one of the most rugged, reliable, and downright elite rifles you can get your hands on.